The Addams family has always been iconic, but Netflix's Wednesday gave us a deeper, more nuanced look at one of the most fascinating dynamics in the franchise, Wednesday Addams and her mother, Morticia. On the surface, they are both dark, mysterious and fiercely independent, but beneath that shared love of the macabre lies a relationship full of tension, love and unspoken understanding. Let me break down the complexities of Morticia and Wednesday's bond, why they clash, why they secretly admire each other, and what makes their relationship so compelling and a tad bit concerning. Let me explain.
The Big Dipper.
Morticia and Wednesday are more alike than either would openly admit. Both are brilliant, intimidating and unapologetically themselves, but that's exactly where the friction begins. Morticia was once just as rebellious as Wednesday. She even met Gomez after framing him for murder, but now as a mother she represents something Wednesday resents: authority and expectation. Wednesday sees Morticia's life as a happily ever after cliche, married to Gomez, adored by peers, the queen of Nevermore. But Morticia isn't just a romantic, she's a strategic, powerful woman who carved her own path, just like Wednesday wants to, except Wednesday wants to do it her own way, which is rather bizarre considering the predicaments she ends up in. Their relationship is a dance of defiance and silent respect. Wednesday rejects Morticia's advice but still inherits her sneaky ways, and most importantly, they both have secrets. Morticia pushes Wednesday to open up but admires her stubbornness. Take Nevermore. Morticia sends Wednesday there hoping she'll find herself, but Wednesday interprets it as control. Yet in the end, Morticia was right. Wednesday does find her place, just not in the way her mother expected. Funny enough, in the second season, she basically becomes a Nevermore celebrity. It's interesting how in the first season everyone was glazing Pearl for being the most famous alumni. Now they have a legend in their foyer, and surprise surprise, it's Wednesday. Even their supernatural connection is worrisome. Morticia understands Wednesday's visions but doesn't force guidance. Wednesday refuses to ask for help but does listen. The Addams way isn't hugs and I love yous, it's poison, tea and deadly challenges, but that doesn't mean they don't care. Matter of fact, they care too much. The perfect example of this is how Gomez always wants to eat Morticia. I don't blame him, but there's a time and place for everything. When Wednesday is in danger, Morticia doesn't panic, she acts, and when Morticia is threatened, Wednesday's loyalty is absolute. Their love is shown through actions, not words, which is all that matters when you think about it. In the end, Wednesday does embrace part of Morticia's legacy, not the romance or the glamour, but the strength, and Morticia learns to give Wednesday space to be her own kind of Addams. And one hell of an Addams she sure is. Morticia and Wednesday will always clash, but that's what makes them so compelling. They're two sides of the same cursed coin, one polished, one sharp-edged, but both invaluable to the Addams legacy. Wednesday and Morticia aren't the only mother-daughter duo having trouble in paradise. Another case is Enid Sinclair's dynamic with her mother. It's a can of worms by the end of the first season. Enid's mother disapproves of her inability to wolf out, constantly comparing her to other werewolves and making her feel inadequate. This maternal disapproval fuels Enid's insecurities, though she ultimately finds strength in embracing her uniqueness rather than conforming to her mother's expectations. Even Bianca Barclay, the seemingly confident siren, harbors resentment towards her mother, who exploited her powers for personal gain in a cult-like community. Bianca's journey involves breaking free from her mother's manipulative control, highlighting how toxic maternal relationships can shape a young woman's identity. Of course, as I said in my other Wednesday video, Bianca has to deal with Nevermore's new principal, who is synonymous to a demon. That's besides the point. These conflicts serve a narrative purpose. They push the girls to forge their own paths, whether it's Wednesday defying Morticia's shadow, Enid rejecting traditional werewolf standards, or Bianca escaping her mother's influence. Each character's growth stems from challenging maternal expectations. All of this suggests that while mothers and daughters may clash, these struggles are necessary for self-discovery. A darkly humorous yet deeply relatable theme in this gothic coming-of-age tale.